Hello everyone, we're John and Donna Bigler and we serve as your international coordinators for Retrouvaille. As we present this first quarter update, we want to express our deep gratitude for the many ways each of you contribute to this ministry. Whether you lead weekends, serve behind the scenes, or offer your services in prayer and support, you matter and you're important to this ministry.
We're excited to share not just an update and data, but the heartbeat behind our efforts this year, efforts at building sustainability, growing engagement, and reaching hurting couples across the globe.
At the start of 2024, the International Board set out to realign our vision with practical steps that we could both address long-standing challenges and new opportunities. Our goals were to rebuild the foundational system, improve how we communicate with each other and within the ministry, and to ensure that all of our efforts, whether technical, spiritual, or relational, ultimately help us live out our mission and bring healing to marriages. So goals are achieved through a process, not just ideas. We've all seen great ideas come and go, but what truly changes lives is consistency, structure, and execution. We really worked hard last year on developing a process to make sure that the goals we set, we were able to have a measurable outcome and see progress when working towards them.
So just kind of tying in, Donna, to your theme on why process matters more than ideas. You know, these on the slide, I won't go through these different processes, but these are some of the processes that we developed in 2024. And the bottom line on this is that communities that implemented some or many of these different processes were able to increase their weekend attendance by as much as 200%.
Yeah. And we also, as a board, we decided that we needed to invest more in infrastructure. We reduced our travel expenses significantly by hosting more Zoom meetings, by making sure that when we're attending regional meetings, we're sending the couple that's closest to the communities that are having the regional meeting, to ensure that we weren't double spending board money to send local couples there plus send another board couple there, potentially by a very expensive flight. So it's trying to save money there. Also by hosting a virtual ICM, we saved a lot of money for not only the board but for other communities, and not having to fly people all over the country or the world to get there for those. So just trying to make sure that while we're trying to rebuild communities, we're also being good stewards of the money that we do have.
So one of our most exciting efforts in 2024 was a full redesign of the website. And like Donna was talking about, with the reduction in expenses last year, we were able to fully fund the website in our existing budget for 2024 and 2025. Now, the website is professionally developed and maintained. It has modern security and authentication using Microsoft Office and authentication. And if you've had a chance to use it, you've noticed that it has a streamlined set of core features. And because of that, it's more intuitive and user-friendly to use. So when I first got a look at it, it took me, without any instruction at all, probably about 20 minutes to work through it and to make a training video, essentially. So to me, it's much simpler, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the people that are using it. So for the last couple of years, the board has come up with a word that's going to encompass how we achieve our objectives for that year. And last year, that word was connection. And so when we apply the word connection to improving our communication, one of the things that we did was we replaced the forum with Viva Engage, which has a much wider audience, much more engagement from the users, and the ability to communicate, to actually push things out to people's mailbox and to have a feed of important information that you're interested in, so you get to choose the information that comes to your mailbox and to your feed on Viva Engage. So that's certainly been one of the improvements that we've been able to make. We also now are able to communicate directly with thousands of members. So a lot of you that are watching this video received an email in your inbox, and that's because we found that members in different communities, for whatever reason, weren't always receiving board communications, or you had to go hunt for it. So instead of you having to go look for it, now we send it to you and you can watch it at your convenience.
We've also, through these emails, we've had the power to send out to thousands at a time, and we have many people and couples reconnect with local communities that maybe they lost touch, they changed their email address, they moved, they didn't know where they were going anymore. They have been able to reconnect and be welcomed back into the communities, and the communities have gotten more couples, more presenters, more volunteers from this reconnection process that has happened because of the emails that we have been sending out. We also started offering translated captions for our international Zoom meetings, which has been a great help at board meetings because we have people on board meetings, not everyone speaks English, and it provides immediate connection to the meeting, and you feel like you're really involved and really know what's happening when you can see what people are saying, whether in your native language or not. In addition, our deputy coordinators have been conducting weekly touching base phone calls where they just select several different communities to call each week, and they just touch bases and see if they can, answer any questions, or if they need help with anything, if the international board can help them in any way, and just to see how things are going overall, just to touch base. How are you guys doing? Do you need any help? So those are many ways that we've used connection throughout the year. We want to thank everyone who made the 2024 Enrichment Celebration possible. It wasn't just an event, it was a reminder that Retrouvaille is bigger than any one country or language. People logged in from around the world and to share their hearts, wisdom, and encouragement, and give an uplifting expression of our shared callings. I believe there were 14 different countries logged into that Enrichment Celebration, which made it one of the truly most global enrichment celebrations we've ever had.
Yep.
Let's look at the numbers for our enrichment celebration. We had 710 viewers, 624 recorded video segments, 112 on-screen contributors. That's hundreds of people who gave their time and hearts to build up others. This is who we are, generous, global, and grounded in shared hope.
So our goals for 2025 are listed here. The first one, our number one goal is create and formalize a blueprint for revitalizing struggling communities to prevent their closure, encourage new leadership development. And Donna and I had the opportunity recently to participate in a community where this is exactly what was done. We had another community and some board members who stepped up and just completely revitalized this community that was struggling. They had great leadership, but that leadership had been doing that for a long time with not a lot of help, and they just didn't really know how to create a new paradigm to draw in younger couples and new leadership. And so we were on that weekend, and what we saw was a lot of young couples, a lot of writing going on, and it was just a fantastic weekend.
Yeah. It was a great experience to see everyone excited, and even the old leaders, the leaders that had been there for years, were excited to see the revitalization of their community and how much God was doing there that they had been missing.
Yeah, and in fact, we're going to have a talk at the Enrichment Celebration from this community, kind of going through the process and what they learned from it, and hopefully you'll be able to take away some ideas for your community to revitalize it as well.
Yeah. Our second goal for 2025 is to provide training to support formation, workshopping, community operations, fidelity to the Retrouvaille program. Part of this is a continuation of last year's goal where we developed programs for Friday night couples and getting couples in, and now we need to develop some goals to continue the process in your community operations and how things are put together from the weekends to after weekends, to getting more writers, to getting presenters, to keeping people in your core meetings. So to provide some training for that also.
Yeah, I've said that oftentimes the Friday night couple, when the program starts on Friday night till it goes through it on Sunday, we have a very consistent program that works really well to take a couple from not great to hopeful for sure on Sunday. But what we don't have is what happens from the time we put that weekend on the website until we get that couple in the chair on Friday night. And that's kind of what this goal deals with, is trying to develop a procedure for every community so that it's consistent, but it's unique to their community so that they can serve that Friday night couple before they really get in the chair. And then our final goal for this year is to create a team to develop training and support for rest of the world communities in formation, community operations, and fidelity to the Retrouvaille program. One of the things that came up at the very first board meeting this year was our rest of the world couple said that they didn't necessarily have all the tools and the help that we have in the United States and Canada to make sure that communities are properly trained, that they're presenting consistent material. And so they've been working really hard right out of the gate to recruit couples for that purpose, to make sure consistent training to establish consistency throughout that program.
Yeah, and one of the issues, they deal with is getting this training and support in multiple languages, because they don't deal with just one language like most of us do. They have multiple different languages in the rest of the world that they have to have everything translated into languages, and they're looking at expanding into more and more countries that they need more and more translations. So that getting some of the stuff down, and then also with the fidelity, keeping it going is an important step for them.
So very briefly, we just need to talk about some family business. With any family, sometimes you have to handle hard things, and we want to be transparent. There have been a few individuals that are no longer affiliated with Retrouvaille that have held events using our name without authorization, and we want to let you know that we're taking appropriate steps to deal with it. We want you to know also that just to be aware of it, because what we've seen is this group has duplicated our material to make it look almost identical to legitimate material, but then they're placing a QR code on that material that if you follow that QR code, it takes you to their website and to their phone number. And I don't think that a ministry is going to be built in the long term on that kind of deceptive behavior, but we want you just to be aware of it and let you know that we are trying to protect the integrity of the ministry.
Our trademarks aren't about ownership, they're about stewardship. If we don't protect this ministry, we're weakening its message and identity.
So we ask everyone to help us safeguard Retrouvaille, not by arguing, but by living out the values that we teach: unity, clarity, and grace. And when we handle conflicts with integrity and compassion, we don't just protect the name, we protect the mission of the ministry.
The International Board this year chose the word one as our theme and our goal for this year. So the theme of this year's Enrichment Celebration is One Retrouvaille. One heart at a time, one hope at a time, one couple at a time, one family at a time, one story, 1 hour, one weekend, one community, one Retrouvaille. Looking ahead, we are planning a fresh format for the 2025 Enrichment Celebration. We have a global focus. We'll be integrating translation technology, encouraging communities to participate and build in an actual, building in an actual break time this year too. There will be breaks.
So last year we received a lot of suggestions from different communities, and we've tried to incorporate many of those suggestions as we can into this year's program. So one of them was that we should have a dialogue question with each presentation, and so there will be a dialogue question with each presentation. We also are going to have a video on demand program. What that is that we'll have community management talks that not necessarily everybody wants to watch, and so those talks will be available on demand after the celebration, and so you can watch those at your leisure and pick the content that applies to your community.
Here's some important dates for you to make note of. The business meeting will be held on Saturday, October 11th, 2025 And the Enrichment Celebration will follow 2 weeks later on Saturday, October 25th and 26th, 2025, so Saturday and Sunday. The reason there's now 2 weeks between the business meeting and the Enrichment meeting, several of the comments we got was that it was difficult to schedule 2 weekends in a row to spend on Retrouvaille. So we thought this year we'd try putting an extra week in the middle, and hopefully that'll be easier for a lot of people to meet on those 2 following weekends. So please note those dates in your calendar. We encourage every community to join us. These are more than meetings. They are moments to reconnect, celebrate, and grow both your marriage and your community.
So kind of like the slide says, you invest your time and energy into other people's marriages, and so this Enrichment Celebration is a time when you have an opportunity to invest into yours.
So again, Dr. Robert Enright is going to be our keynote speaker. He's actually doing 2 live sessions for us. As many of you remember, he was on our Enrichment Celebration last year in 2024, and backed by popular demand, we had many people asking to hear more from him. He is known as the father of forgiveness science, so he has agreed to do both our keynote and an extra live session for us there, and with question and answer time. So we're really looking forward to seeing him again at our Enrichment Celebration this year.
And dialogue questions.
And dialogue questions from him too, yeah.
Okay.
There will, of course, be other speakers involved. We've got 2 here, Dr. Brad Wilcox and Ron and Kathy Thayer, who are on here. We will be giving you a little teaser video at the end of our thing, so we won't go into them right now. But there are many other speakers also that will be there too, and a lot of great material that the program committee has put together.
We are honored to walk this journey with you, and we look ahead to all that's coming. One heart, one couple, one weekend at a time.
Okay, thank you. We're going to close out this video with our first promotional video for this upcoming Enrichment Celebration. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks for watching.